5 feet after midnight. Wave detail, northeast 2 feet at 4 seconds and east 2 feet at 11 seconds, becoming northeast 3 feet at 5 seconds and east 2 feet at 12 seconds. For Sunday, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts to 20 knots. Seas 4 to 5 feet. Wave detail, northeast 4 feet at 5 seconds and east 2 feet at 11 seconds. For Sunday night, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts to 20 knots, diminishing to 5 to 10 knots after midnight. Seas 4 to 5 feet. Monday, northeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 4 to 5 feet. Monday night, east winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 4 to 5 feet. Tuesday, northeast winds 15 to 20 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. And for Tuesday night, northeast winds 15 to 20 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Mariners are reminded that winds and seas can be higher in and near thunderstorms. Here is the latest wind and wave forecast for Lake Moultrie. Mariners are reminded that conditions on the lake can change rapidly, especially in and near thunderstorms. Tonight, east winds 5 to 10 knots. Friday, northeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Friday night, northeast winds 5 knots. Saturday, northeast winds 5 knots. Saturday night, northeast winds 5 knots. Unless otherwise noted, waves 1 foot or less. Water temperature in the Rediversion Canal, 79 degrees. For additional forecast information, refer to the Berkeley County forecast. The offshore waters forecast, from Cape Fear to 31 degrees north out to 1,000 fathoms. For today, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 5 to 8 feet. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. For tonight, east to northeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 7 feet. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. For Friday, east to northeast winds 10 to 20 knots, becoming 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 7 feet. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. For Friday night, east to northeast winds 5 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 7 feet. Scattered showers and thunderstorms. For Saturday, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 7 feet. For Saturday night, northeast winds 10 to 20 knots. Seas 4 to 8 feet. For Sunday, northeast winds 10 to 20 knots, becoming east to northeast 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 8 feet. Sunday night, east winds 5 to 15 knots, diminishing to less than 10 knots. Seas 4 to 7 feet. Monday, east to southeast winds less than 10 knots. Seas 4 to 7 feet. And for Monday night, east to southeast winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming east to northeast 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 7 feet. Flood warning remains in effect until further notice. What? Moderate flooding is occurring and major flooding is forecast. Where? Santee River near Jamestown. When? Until further notice. Impacts. At 24.0 feet, water will start to enter the lower level of the home at the end of Lawton Farm Lane. Additional details. At 9:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time Thursday, the stage was 21.8 feet. Forecast. The river is expected to rise to a crest of 24.7 feet Saturday morning. Flood stage is 10.0 feet. And now here is the local beach and rip current forecast for the listening area. Moderate risk for rip currents in effect through Friday evening. Friday, rip current risk, moderate. Surf height, around 3 feet. Ultraviolet index, moderate. Water temperature, in the lower 80s. Weather, mostly sunny until 5 p.m., then mostly cloudy. High temperature, around 80. Winds, northeast winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Tides, Isle of Palms, high tide, at 9:11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Low tide, at 3:23 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Saturday, rip current risk, moderate. Surf height, 2 to 3 feet. Weather, partly sunny. High temperature, in the lower 80s. Winds, northeast winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Tides, Isle of Palms, high tide, at 9:43 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Low tide, at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And now, the extended beach forecast. Sunday, surf height 3 to 5 feet. Mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 70s. Northeast winds around 15 miles an hour. Monday, surf height around 3 feet. Sunny. Highs around 80. Northeast winds around 5 miles an hour. Tuesday, surf height 3 to 5 feet. Mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 70s. Northeast winds around 15 miles an hour. The upcoming tides for Charleston Harbor, South Carolina. Low tide at 3:13 p.m. today. High tide at 9:07 p.m. today. Low tide at 3:16 a.m. Friday. High tide at 9:36 a.m. Friday. The official National Weather Service forecast for the listening area. Tonight, mostly clear this evening, then becoming partly cloudy. Lows in the upper 60s. Northeast winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Friday, partly sunny. Highs in the lower 80s. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour with gusts up to 20 miles an hour. Friday night, mostly cloudy. Lows around 70. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Saturday, mostly cloudy in the morning, then becoming partly sunny. Highs in the lower 80s. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour with gusts up to 20 miles an hour. Saturday night, mostly cloudy. Lows in the upper 60s. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Sunday, mostly sunny. Highs in the lower 80s. The extended forecast for the listening area. Sunday night, mostly clear. Lows in the mid-60s. Monday, sunny. Highs in the lower 80s. Monday night, partly cloudy. Lows in the upper 60s. Tuesday, mostly sunny. Highs around 80. Tuesday night, partly cloudy. Lows in the lower 60s. Wednesday, sunny. Highs in the upper 70s. Wednesday night, mostly clear. Lows around 60. Thursday, sunny. Highs in the mid-70s. You're listening to NOAA weather radio station KHB29 in Charleston, the voice of the National Weather Service. The station proudly serves the low country of South Carolina, including the Charleston metropolitan area. Additional weather information can be found online at weather.gov/CHS. The local time is 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Here is the latest tropical cyclone advisory from the National Hurricane Center. At 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the center of Hurricane Kirk was located near latitude 20.4 north, longitude 45.9 west. Kirk is moving toward the northwest near 10 miles an hour, and this general motion is expected to continue through early Friday. A turn toward the north and north-northeast at a faster forward speed is forecast over the weekend. Maximum sustained winds have increased to near 125 miles an hour with higher gusts. Kirk is a Category 3 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. Some strengthening is forecast the next day or so. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 35 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 185 miles. The estimated minimum central pressure is 948 millibars. Here is the latest tropical cyclone advisory from the National Hurricane Center. At 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the center of Tropical Storm Leslie was located near latitude 10.1 north, longitude 30.8 west. Leslie is moving toward the west near 5 miles an hour. A slow westward motion is expected through tonight, followed by a slightly faster west-northwestward motion Friday through Saturday. Maximum sustained winds have increased to near 45 miles an hour with higher gusts. Steady strengthening is anticipated, and Leslie is forecast to become a hurricane in a day or so. Tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 45 miles from the center. The estimated minimum central pressure is 1,002 millibars. Here is the latest tropical weather outlook issued by the National Hurricane Center. For the North Atlantic, Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico, active systems, the National Hurricane Center is issuing advisories on Hurricane Kirk, located over the central tropical Atlantic Ocean, and on Tropical Storm Leslie, located over the eastern tropical Atlantic Ocean. Gulf of Mexico, disorganized showers and thunderstorms over portions of the Gulf of Mexico are associated with a surface trough. A broad area of low pressure is likely to develop over the Gulf of Mexico this weekend or early next week, but subsequent tropical or subtropical development could be limited by the system's potential interaction with a frontal boundary. Regardless of development, locally heavy rains could occur over portions of Mexico during the next few days and over portions of the Florida Peninsula from late this weekend into next week. Formation chance through 48 hours, low, near 0%. Formation chance through 7 days, low, 30%. Did you know that the National Weather Service in Charleston participates in a variety of social media platforms? Follow us on Facebook at NWS Charleston SC. You can also follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, using the handle at NWS Charleston SC. Finally, check out our website at weather.gov/CHS where a variety of weather and climate information can be found. During hazardous weather events, please email your damage reports to nws.charleston@noaa.gov. Synopsis for the coastal waters of South Coastal South Carolina and North Coastal Georgia. Broad high pressure will remain across the region through Friday. A weak cold front will move through the area on Saturday with another stronger cold front possible Tuesday. High pressure then returns during the middle of next week. Here is the coastal waters forecast. For Charleston Harbor. For tonight, east winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts to 20 knots, becoming